So let's start off with talking about this news. Tom Holland injured in an accident doing a stunt.
Tom Holland and a stunt woman I saw were both taken to the
Were
hospital,
they both
correct?
taken to the hospital? I know there
Mhm.
were two injuries. I wasn't sure if they were both taken to the
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
hospital.
that was at least that was the initial report. Now, I
Well,
spent most of the day driving, so I didn't actually read it.
we
But
will try to find that here in a second. Um, but it sounds like production has been halted for a week.
yeah, naturally.
That he has a concussion.
Hmm.
Um, you know, I'm a little surprised that they're halting production altogether because it seems like there would be scenes to film that he's not there for.
I mean,
But I
yeah, but
guess that throws your schedule off.
basically, yeah, that's really the long and short
So
of it.
instead of rewriting the entire shooting schedule, they just
They
going,
just push it because the thing is, I'm sure there's so many logistics that go into.
well, and they're moving locations a lot.
Yeah. So what they may do is when he gets back, they may just pick up wherever they were in the shooting schedule and then go and then backfill what they still haven't done at the end.
True.
But I mean, when they were shooting a movie here and whenever their number one got COVID, they shut the whole thing down. Like the whole product, because a lot of times on those kinds
Well,
of
that was also like before things were back to normal. Y'all were still COVID testing every day at that point, right?
yeah. But usually your number one on your call sheet, your lead, um, usually is usually in most of the scenes. Um, and usually they're engaged for the entire run of the show. And the other actors kind of come in, sporadically, but generally, at least in my experience, number one is on set every day. Um, and I'm sure if number one doesn't have a lot of, as much action, that may not be true, but um, he's probably engaged for the whole run of the show, and all the other actors are coming in at various times depending on when their action is. But I mean, it's a Spider-Man movie. Historically, Spider-Man movies have not had a whole lot happening that didn't involve Spider-Man.
Yeah, but I mean, you're going to have some scenes with some of your villains and stuff, and we know we're bringing in the Hulks in this, Punishers in this, so they got scenes without. There's going to be scenes without Spider-Man, but they're moving
Also,
location a lot.
yeah,
It's also possible that some of those things are filming elsewhere without
yeah, and
the
probably like B-roll that don't need him is probably, you know, still carrying on.
yeah.
Um, the other thing is Tom Holland. I don't know if he does all of his own stunts, but he definitely does a lot of them, if not all of them.
Yeah.
So it's not like a lot of times on these kinds of things, they'll have stunt performers, like on The Mandalorian, for example. I think Pedro Pascal was on set for a grand total of 2 days.
He's mostly doing voice dub, like after the fact.
Right. So
He really is only there for very, very specific scenes. And he really doesn't have to be there at all.
Yeah, unless he takes his helmet off.
Right, which they've done twice or 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
Just twice, right?
I think just twice. But if he's doing his own stunts, it's not like they can be like, oh, we'll just shoot the stunt scenes. And also, especially since they had another stunt performer injured, it's, optics. It's probably better optics for them to shut down the production.
Yeah.
Their lead and someone else are both, hospitalized. It's good optics.
Yeah, I can't actually find the info. I tried searching. I don't know if the stunt person had actually I know they were injured. I don't know if they were hospitalized.
Okay.
But I do know there were 2 injuries. Mm-hmm. And it says that his concussion, everything we know is that he had a mild concussion, but that he's taking a week off
Well,
just
he's one
out
of
of
the
caution.
most expensive people in Hollywood right now.
He is,
I
and he's got a
expect-
long career ahead of him. And you know, concussions. Like, I mean, I had a concussion as a kid, and like it just, you know, a couple days in the bed, and I was back to normal. And you know, knowing what we know now, that's probably not what should have happened, because I went right back to doing all the rough things I was doing before.
Yeah. Gosh, I wouldn't want to have to be the AD redoing that schedule. Can you imagine all the logistics there are to keep track of? I mean, I'm sure they have an army of people working on it, but still,
Yeah.
Can you imagine being the person that has to like sign off on that schedule?
Right.
Ugh.
Yeah. So, but no real word on how, like, you know, anything other than a concussion. And we probably won't learn about it until filming's done. What, you know, the extent of it.
Lots of NDAs.
What do you think? Here. So I see a lot of commentary about, why is Tom Holland doing his own stunts?
Because he wants to. That's the only reason an actor as big as him does their own stunts, is because they either feel like, I know that
he won't sign a contract unless he's allowed to do them. Is the only way this is well, no,
I mean, yeah,
but that's the only way that's going to happen, because generally speaking, they don't allow actors to do stunts.
Now,
like, you have to have some weight to throw around to get to do your own stunts.
Like some actors, like Brendan Fraser was, I think, kind of doing his own stunts was sort of part of his brand. Like
he
from the beginning, destroyed his body. Yeah. But I think that he kind of felt like I think a lot of young actors feel like if they don't do their own stunts, that they are cheating, and that it's like not authentic. It's not real. It's not fair to the audience.
I think there's some of that. I mean, I think that's certainly true of Tom Cruise is both an adrenaline junkie and because he wants it to be as authentic as possible.
Right. But also the reality of it is, the deal with Tom Holland is actually an expert in what he does.
That's the other thing. People often forget his background.
He has the sort of background that people go into stunts with.
Yes.
And so,
no, had he not made it as an actor, he could have made a career out of being a stuntman.
Yeah. So he's an exception to this, but for a lot of actors, they, you know, and I've heard some, I don't even remember who it was now, basically saying, you know, like, I spent an entire day, you know, insisting that I had to do this stunt. And so they did all the things because they weren't particularly well qualified to do that stunt. So they had to put all these extra safety things into motion. They had to, you know, do all of this extra stuff. They had to do it over and over again because they weren't an expert in this, whatever kind of stunt it was. And in the end, the stunt performer did it better, and it looked better with the stunt person doing it than it did with the actor doing it. So unless the actor is, you know, I mean, like, for example, you know, you're not going to have somebody else come in and do Darth Maul's fights, right?
Right. But beyond that, Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen took it so seriously that they did their own lightsaber fights. In fact, now they're saying when they came back for the Obi-Wan series, or no, the Ahsoka series, when he's fighting Ahsoka in that live action series, that they had to keep telling him to slow down. And another thing that's really wild about all that, did you know that a lot of those fights from the prequel trilogy are actually slowed down?
Oh, really?
A lot of them are slowed down to make them more dramatic. Oh, wow. But when you see the raw cut, they're actually faster than what you see on screen a lot of times.
Yeah.
So those guys all trained really hard to do those stunts.
But they don't do, like, they're not doing their own front flips. They're not doing their own, you know, they're doing their own fighting, which is different than doing your own, you know, somersaults off of a building.
Still stunts, but
yes. But also,
you also had some serious, like, actual You had what's his name that played Dooku, who's actually um, a pro with a blade. Like, I
Yeah.
mean, and then you had and of course, um, Ray Park
Right.
as Darth Maul. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, you don't bring. I mean, Ray Park was a stuntman
Right.
that became an actor.
Right.
You don't tell him, no, you're not doing your stunt.
Right.
He'd probably leave.
Yeah.
But you bring him in because of his physicality.
Yes. But, like to circle back around, Tom Holland does not have to be the man in the Spider-Man mask, you know, jumping off buildings. He does not. He's wearing a mask. It could be anybody who's a moderately good body double could be that person.
Yeah.
But guess what? He clearly wants to do it. I saw somebody on Facebook was like, Hollywood needs to take better care of their actors. I was like, friend.
Now look, there are probably cases where that may be true with some of your lower tier actors, but when you talk about A-listers,
no,
like Tom Holland, they're plenty well taken care of.
Hollywood takes very good care of their A-listers. Now, Hollywood needs to take better care of their stunt performers. Absolutely.
Yeah. That has, from my understanding, gotten better.
Oh,
but for a long time, stunt performers were just used up and discarded.
Yeah, I mean, but the only way those things get better is by people pushing back.
You know what I want to see?
What's that?
I want to see them do. They don't need to do a movie because, one, I don't want to see anybody trying to redo Buster Keaton movies. But I want to see Tom Holland do just a bit from a Buster Keaton movie.
Yeah,
maybe like the greatest actor stunt person of all time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think Tom Holland could do it
in a day where,
because I think Tom Holland can do
not careful.
Well, Tom Holland can do the dance. He can dance. Mm-hmm. I think he has the physicality to do the stunts. Mm-hmm. And he's done enough stage stuff that I really think that he could do mm-hmm. a really good imitation of Buster Keaton.
Yeah, that could be interesting. And then we can compare Tom Holland as Buster Keaton up against Robert Downey Jr. as Charlie Chaplin.
Mm. Yep.
Be an interesting compare and contrast. Chaplin movie is really good. Have you ever seen it?
I have not actually seen it. I've seen bits from it.
It's impressive. Generally actors who do biopics really, take their homework seriously, but it's pretty wild how well he pulls that off.
Yeah. Well, he's a talented actor.
Yeah, for sure.
I know there's a lot of people that think that it's stunt casting to bring him back as Dr. Doom. And it's like, look, they're not doing that without a plan.
Yeah.
But like, if you have an opportunity to bring Robert Downey Jr. back and put his talent to use
as a completely different character, like if they brought him back as another universe's Iron Man, Stark.
Okay, but he is going to be a
Tony Stark, not Tony.
He is going to be a totally different character, but he also might be that universe's Tony Stark. We don't know.
Yes, that. But if he were just like you'll see this sometimes in sci-fi. It's like almost exactly the same character. Mm-hmm. And it's just like, oh, but they came from another, like Gamora. Okay, if it had been like Gamora and it was like exactly, looked the same, acted the same name, same background, all the same things up until this point, that would be a cop-out, I think. And that would really not, especially with how important that storyline was for finishing out Tony Stark's arc.
Yeah. But
how rhymey is that? The Stark arc.
But yeah, I'm really excited about this Spider-Man movie because it sounds like they're bringing in, I mean, we still got people coming in that we don't even know who they are yet. Sadie Sink from Stranger Things is in this. We still don't know who she is.
Yeah. I mean, like, the answer's obvious, except for we already have a Mary Jane Watson.
Yeah.
So, so what do you bring the most famous redheaded actress of her generation?
Unless she's not playing a redheaded character. But we also,
which I mean, is kind of what they did. Like, they brought Emma Stone in as Gwen Stacy.
Yeah. So I don't know if that's what they're doing or if we just have no idea who's coming there yet. Like, she could be any number of characters. So yeah, it's I don't know, curious about all that. Hey there, sci-fi fans. We hope you enjoyed this clip from a previous live stream of the Science Fictionary podcast. We hope you'll go check out other episodes. We hope you'll hit that like and that subscribe button. And please go check out all of our friends over at the Red5 Network. And as always, may the Force be with you.